Imagine walking through the ruins of a once mighty city, where kings from across the known world gathered to pay tribute. Archaeologists say that even today, when you stand among its massive stone columns and carved reliefs, you can still sense the power of an empire that ruled over 40% of the world's population. This place isn't in Greece or Rome, it's Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. For centuries, Persepolis was hidden under layers of time and dust. It wasn't just a city, it was the beating heart of an empire that stretched from the Indus Valley in the east to the Mediterranean in the west. Built nearly 2,500 years ago by King Darius the Great, Persepolis symbolized not only Persian power, but also unity among its diverse subjects. Today, its ruins in southern Iran tell a story of ambition, artistry, destruction, and legacy. The idea of Persepolis began with Darius I around 518 BCE. Unlike other cities built primarily for trade or military purposes, Persepolis was designed as a ceremonial capital, a stage to showcase the glory of Persia. Darius wanted a place that would represent the might of his empire, a place where leaders and envoys from around the world would gather to honor the Persian king. Constructed on a massive terrace carved out of the mountain, Persepolis was unlike anything else in its time. It took decades of labor, with workers, artists, and architects drawn from across the empire. Babylonians, Egyptians, Greeks, and Indians all contributed their skills. In this sense, Persepolis wasn't just Persian, it was truly international. Walking through Persepolis, one can't help but be struck by the scale of its architecture. The most iconic part is the Apadana Palace, built to host thousands of guests. Its massive columns, some standing over 20 meters tall, are crowned with intricate carvings of bulls and lions, symbols of strength and authority. Then there's the Gate of All Nations, constructed by Xerxes, Darius's successor. Every foreign envoy had to pass through this monumental entrance, symbolizing that while they came from different corners of the world, they were all subjects of the Persian king. What's fascinating is how the carvings along the staircases of Persepolis depict delegates from across the empire: Armenians, Indians, Egyptians, Greeks, all bringing gifts. It's almost like a visual record of Persian diplomacy carved in stone. Persepolis wasn't just about size, it was about meaning. Every column, every relief carried symbolism. For instance, the images of lions attacking bulls are often interpreted as symbols of eternal struggle, perhaps representing the balance between day and night or the seasonal cycle. This shows us that the Persians were not only powerful conquerors, but also deep thinkers who embedded philosophy into their art. Unlike many other empires that ruled through sheer force, Persia also valued unity, respect for local customs, and shared identity. Persepolis was a physical embodiment of this philosophy. One of the most important events at Persepolis was the celebration of Nowruz, the Persian New Year, which falls on the spring equinox. Delegations from across the empire would arrive with gifts paying tribute to the king. Imagine a scene. Thousands of people gathered in the Apadana Palace, exotic animals from India, fine linen from Egypt, silver from Anatolia, all presented in a grand ceremony. This wasn't just about wealth, it was about reinforcing the unity of the empire, showing that diverse cultures could exist under one rule while maintaining their own traditions. Persepolis was the theater where this unity was performed every year. But like all great cities, Persepolis met a tragic end. In 330 BCE, Alexander the Great invaded Persia. After defeating Darius III, he marched into Persepolis. At first, Alexander respected the city, but soon after, whether by accident, drunken celebration, or deliberate revenge for Persian attacks on Greece, Persepolis was set ablaze. The fire destroyed much of the city, reducing its wooden roofs and structures to ash. The ruins we see today are the skeleton of what once stood. Some historians believe Alexander burned Persepolis as a symbolic gesture to mark the end of the Persian Empire and the rise of Greece. Others think it was simply a reckless act. Either way, Persepolis never recovered. For centuries, Persepolis lay forgotten under the sands of time. Locals called it Takht-e-Jamshid, or Throne of Jamshid, linking it to mythical Persian kings. It wasn't until the 17th century that European travelers began documenting its ruins. In the 20th century, archaeological excavations revealed the true scale of Persepolis. Thousands of cuneiform tablets were discovered, giving us insight into the administrative workings of the empire. Far from being just a ceremonial city, Persepolis was also a hub of organization and governance. Today, Persepolis stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing visitors from around the world. It's not just an archaeological site, it's a reminder of Persia's enduring influence on world history. From governance systems to architecture and even cultural celebrations like Nowruz, the legacy of Persepolis continues to shape the world.
Why should we care about Persepolis today? Because it tells us a vital lesson. Empires rise and fall, but ideas and culture endure. The Persians ruled with a combination of power and tolerance, allowing local traditions to flourish. This model of governance influenced later empires, from the Romans to modern states. Persepolis also challenges the Western-centric view of ancient history. While we often hear about Greece and Rome, Persia was just as influential, if not more, during its peak. Recognizing Persepolis reminds us of the interconnectedness of human history. Persepolis may be a ruin today, but in its fallen stones still echoes the story of one of history's greatest empires. A city built not just for kings, but as a symbol of unity across cultures, a reminder that true greatness lies not only in conquest, but in connection.